Can you imagine a place where simply breathing can steal almost 7 years of your life? Where the air is so toxic it causes more deaths than smoking cigarettes? That place exists. And no, it's not China. Not India either. It's Bangladesh. And what you're about to discover in the next few minutes will completely change your perspective on pollution in the world. But before revealing the shocking data, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications because this content will leave you speechless. Let's go! Bangladesh is officially the second most polluted country on the planet in 2024. And here's the first fact that's going to blow your mind. The air quality index reached 140, classified as severe by the Environmental Protection Agency. To give you an idea of what this means, the World Health Organization recommends a maximum of 5 micrograms of PM 2.5 per cubic meter. Bangladesh registers 75 micrograms. That's 15 times above the safe limit. But wait, because it gets worse, much worse. In January 2024, Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, had AQI indices of 244. That's dangerous. The maximum level on the scale. To put this in perspective, breathing the air in Dhaka that day was equivalent to smoking 12 cigarettes at once. Here's what's going to shock you. You probably thought China would be the absolute champion of pollution, right? Wrong. In 2024, China isn't even in the top 3. Pakistan comes in 3rd place with an AQI of 115, India in 5th with 111, and Bangladesh dominates 2nd place. 1st place? Only Chad in Africa surpasses Bangladesh with an AQI of 91.8. But here's the brutal difference. Chad is polluted mainly by dust from the Sahara Desert, a natural phenomenon. Bangladesh? Bangladesh created its own environmental catastrophe, and the statistics are devastating. Let's get to the numbers that will make you pause this video. Air pollution in Bangladesh kills 102,456 people every year. Let that sink in for a second. That's 280 deaths per day. 12 people die every hour just from breathing. And we're not talking about sudden death. We're talking about ischemic heart disease, strokes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, respiratory infections, and lung cancer. But the most shocking fact of all, air pollution reduced the average life expectancy in Bangladesh by 6.9 years. 6 years and 9 months. For comparison, smoking cigarettes reduces life expectancy by 1.6 years. Child and maternal malnutrition reduces it by 1.4 years. Air pollution is 4 times deadlier than tobacco in Bangladesh. If these numbers are leaving you shocked, drop a like on this video and comment below. Did you know Bangladesh was this polluted? Also share it with that person who thinks they live in the most polluted city in their country, because they have no idea what real pollution is. Now comes the part that will make you understand why Bangladesh reached this apocalyptic level. It's not one factor. It's multiple invisible killers working together. First, brick kilns. Dhaka, the capital, is surrounded by more than 2,000 traditional brick kilns. Imagine 2,000 industrial chimneys burning low-quality coal and wood 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These kilns are responsible for an incredible 60% of Dhaka's air pollution. 60% from an archaic industry that employs 1 million people and generates only 1% of GDP. It's a deadly trade-off. Jobs versus lungs. Second, vehicular emissions. Between 2010 and 2018, the number of vehicles on Dhaka's roads increased by 68%. And we're not talking about modern electric cars. These are diesel buses, trucks, jeeps, and minivans with obsolete engines that expel carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxides without any filtration system. Vehicular emissions represent about 15% of PM 2.5 particles in the air. Third, rampant construction and dust. Bangladesh is experiencing an unprecedented urban development boom. Unregulated construction sites spread dust and debris everywhere. Since the country is a river delta composed mainly of sediment and sand, this dust is easily lifted by the wind and contributes massively to particle pollution. Fourth, industrial emissions. Factories, especially in the textile industry that dominates Bangladesh's economy, dump pollutants without adequate filtration systems. Cement factories, textile production, power plants, all operating with virtually non-existent or unenforced environmental regulations. Here's something that makes everything even more sinister. Pollution in Bangladesh has seasonality. During winter, lower temperatures and stagnant atmospheric conditions prevent pollutant dispersion. It's like putting a giant lid over the country. The smog gets trapped, concentrates, becomes lethal. In January 2026, Dhaka was ranked as the third most polluted city in the world, with indices exceeding 250, officially in the dangerous zone. Thermal inversions, low wind speeds, and dry conditions keep emissions trapped close to the ground. And there's more. Regional transport of pollutants from neighboring areas contributes to prolonged smog episodes. Bangladesh isn't just suffocating in its own pollution, it's also receiving pollution from India and Pakistan, countries equally plagued by terrible air quality. Are you enjoying this content? Then share this video now. More people need to know about this brutal reality. And stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal the most disturbing fact of all about Bangladesh's future. Now pay attention to this devastating irony. Bangladesh contributes less than 1% of global carbon emissions. 1%. China, 27% in 2021. United States, 14%. India, 7%. Bangladesh barely appears in global emission statistics, but its cities have some of the worst air quality indices in the world. How is this possible? Because Bangladesh doesn't have money for clean technologies. 59% of energy comes from natural gas, 31% from oil, and 10% from coal. Renewable energies are practically negligible in the country's energy matrix. And here's the tragedy. Between 2010 and 2022, Bangladesh's annual per capita income tripled and a half to almost $2,700 in real terms. With economic growth, oil consumption tripled and coal consumption increased 6 times. The country is trapped in a deadly trap. Economic development means more pollution, and more pollution means death and disease that reduce productivity and GDP. The UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change predicts that Bangladesh could lose 2 to 9% of its GDP due to more frequent natural disasters, tropical cyclones, and severe flooding. The country is being attacked from all sides. Local pollution, global climate change, and extreme geographical vulnerability. But statistics are just numbers. Let me tell you what's really happening on the streets of Dhaka. Children developing chronic asthma at 5 years old. Lungs that look like smokers in teenagers who've never touched a cigarette. Skyrocketing rates of heart disease in people in their 40s. Cases of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's increasing in increasingly younger populations. PM 2.5 particles are so small, they penetrate deep into the lungs and enter the bloodstream, damaging organs throughout the body. There is no safe level of PM 2.5, according to the World Health Organization, and Bangladesh has 15 times more than what would already be dangerous. In children, pollution causes permanent psychological and behavioral problems, cognitive deficit, premature birth, and low birth weight. We're talking about an entire generation whose potential is being destroyed before it even begins. If you've made it this far, you already know more about the pollution crisis in Bangladesh than 99% of people in the world. Show that you care. Leave a comment sharing what shocked you most in this video. And subscribe to the channel because we'll continue bringing content that reveals truths that traditional media ignores. Now comes the million-dollar question. Is there a solution? The answer is complicated and brutally honest. Yes, there is a solution, but it's not easy and it's not cheap. If Bangladesh could reduce air pollution to meet WHO standards, it would save 81,182 lives per year. That's 79% of all pollution-related deaths. It would eliminate almost all asthma-related emergency visits and premature births. It would prevent 262 million sick leave days annually. But here's the problem. Doing this would require a complete transformation of the economy. Close or modernize 2,000 brick kilns. Replace the entire diesel vehicle fleet. Implement rigorous environmental regulations for all industries. Invest massively in renewable energies. And do all this while still trying to lift millions of people out of poverty. The government launched the National Air Quality Management Plan 2024-2030, which promises sectoral emissions reductions, institutional capacity building, and public engagement. But without massive international funding, these are just words on paper. So here's the final truth you need to take from this video. Bangladesh is not just a polluted country. It's a warning of what happens when rapid economic development collides with absence of environmental regulation and structural poverty. It's a real-time laboratory showing that you can't simply copy the 20th century industrialization model and expect to survive in the 21st century. 170 million people, more than half the population of the United States, are breathing air that literally steals years from their lives. And the world is looking the other way because Bangladesh doesn't produce iPhones, doesn't manufacture luxury cars, and doesn't have geopolitical influence. But Bangladesh's crisis is humanity's crisis. If we can't help developing countries grow cleanly, we'll create billions of climate and environmental refugees in the coming decades. Pollution doesn't respect borders. Global warming doesn't choose victims by per capita GDP. If this video impacted you, you have 3 missions now. 1. Share this content on all your social networks. 2. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos about global crises nobody's talking about. 3. Leave a comment saying what you think should be done to save Bangladesh from suffocation. And if you want to make a real difference, research organizations working on air quality in developing countries. Every small action counts when multiplied by millions of conscious people. See you in the next video. And next time you take a deep breath, remember, you have that privilege. 170 million Bangladeshis don't.